Hello everyone, and my name is Mohammed Junaid. What do you think a life cycle is? A life cycle refers to the stages or changes that an animal goes through while it's alive. A life cycle repeats itself or goes in a circle for each new generation of life. Like this is the life cycle of a frog. Amphibians. Amphibians are cold-blooded vertebrates that spend some time on land but must breed and develop into an adult in water. Do you know what cold-blooded means? Well, cold-blooded means that they cannot generate energy by themselves. They will need the sun to make their own energy. Amphibian life cycle. They are born either alive from mothers or hatched from eggs. They spend childhood underwater, breathing with gills. They need gills to breathe underwater, you know what I mean? And they also grow into adults and move to land, breathing with lungs. As when you go to land, you need lungs. Have you ever wondered how a frog starts out as an egg and ends up as a frog? Interesting question, isn't it? Metamorphosis. Do you know what metamorphosis means? It is a difficult word, isn't it? Let me tell you. Amphibians go through a process called metamorphosis. By the time they are adults, they look completely different from how they did when they were born. Like if you think a frog and a tadpole does not look like a frog, but we humans do look like our adult form when we are born. Frogs undergo life changes. They begin as eggs but become frogs. This does not happen overnight. There are 5 main stages in the frog's life cycle. Get ready to learn them. Stage number 1. What do you think happens in stage number 1? Well, the female frog lays hundreds of eggs. Can you imagine that? After which the male fertilizes them. It is a long thing, isn't it? And something impossible to believe in, right? Now something fun. Some of these eggs get destroyed due to wind or rainfall. A layer of jelly holds the eggs together and provides protection to them. This whole mass of eggs in the jelly is called a spawn. A few weeks later, stage number 2 starts. In stage 2, the tadpole hatches out of the eggs. This is the beginning of their lives. Tadpoles are like fish. They swim in the water and have gills, which allow them to breathe in the water. They have a long tail. It doesn't have any legs. Can you imagine that? First, tadpoles feed on the yolk in the egg from which it comes out. The tadpoles grow quickly, swimming around and eating algae or tiny organisms in the water for several weeks. Here comes stage number 3. Tadpoles have external gills that disappear, hind limbs develop, lungs form. Stage number 4. In this stage, forelimbs develop. They breathe through lungs. Tadpoles develop into froglets because they come out of the water. The final stage. The froglet grows into a large adult frog. The tail disappears. It's amazing, right? It eats insects and worms. After 2 years, it will lay eggs of its own and start the life cycle again. Do you remember the definition of life cycle? Well, this is what it means over here. Most frogs do not look after their offspring. When they hibernate, they drink water from their skin. This is a fun fact and something impossible and mesmerizing. You must be wondering why I used metamorphosis. Well, the amazing change from a tadpole to a frog is called metamorphosis. This is the life cycle of a frog. Thank you so much. I hope you understood the concept.